Alright guys, here we are with 9.4 day 1. Ellipses. Okay, an ellipse is a set of all points in a plane such that the sum of the distances from two fixed points, the foci, plural of focus, we have two focus points, is constant. The major axis is the long length of an ellipse. Okay, major this way, but in the vertical one, major's up and down. Minor axis is the short one. The center is the quote-unquote middle, where the major and minor axis are perpendicular. The vertices are the endpoints of our major axis, and the co-vertices are the endpoints of our minor. Okay, our standard form of an ellipse looks very similar to a circle. Okay, we got x minus h squared, y minus k squared. Okay, we have this a squared underneath the x's, b squared underneath the y's, and we are adding these up to equal 1. H and k is your center, just like for a circle. A is the distance from the center to the horizontal endpoint, and then we square that. B is your distance to the from the center to the vertical endpoint, and we square that. Okay. Here's your equations for your foci, if it's a vertical or a horizontal one. And that c value comes from doing a squared minus b squared. Okay, you're probably used to thinking of a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but this is representing different things here in different triangles. If you look over here, okay, we can see that a is actually the hypotenuse in this triangle. So that's why it's not a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okie dokes. Slide on down to the easy stuff. Okay? Write an equation for each ellipse. Alright, where's my center at? Well, your center is where your two axes will cross. This is a nice one. It crosses at 0, 0. So my center is going to be 0, 0. Okay, so we have x squared over something plus y squared over something equals 1. Okay, so what goes under x squared is your horizontal distance from the center. So we count out 1, 2, 3. So that's 3. So it's going to be 3 squared down there. Y squared, my vertical distance from the center to the end point. We got 1, 2. So 2 squared goes there. So our final equation is going to be x squared over 9 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. A little extra work for us here. This isn't part of what the question wanted, but we might as well get started on it because we're going to have to do this eventually, finding where the foci are. Where do those focus points go? Okay, so number 1, we need our c value. C squared equals a squared minus b squared. Okay, or another way to think of it is c squared equals big 1 minus little 1. Okay, and these are pretty easy to get. They come from right up here, 9 and 4. Your big 1 minus your little 1. So c should equal the square root of 5. Okay, so this is the distance from my center, okay, to the foci, square root of 5. I'm centered at 0, 0, so this is really helpful. Okay, so from here, and the foci are on the long axis, the major axis. So the square root of 5 out from the center. So you can put me out, radical 5 comes 0, or negative radical 5 comes 0. Okay, piece of cake when they're centered at the origin at 0, 0. Alright, let's do it again. We can see this one's a vertical one, so which one's going to have the bigger value underneath? This time it should be y. Okay? If you're checking these answers in the back of the book, a lot of the times, most of the time, they'll have the one that has the bigger denominator in the front, whether that's x or y. Okay, it doesn't make a difference right now with the addition portion here with the ellipse when we have x squared plus y squared. Next week when we get into another new one that's going to have a minus in the middle, okay, that might make a difference then. Alright, so if you want to get in the habit of putting the one that has the bigger denominator in front, you can go ahead and do that. Start doing that this week. But if you don't really want to yet, if you're just struggling to get the basics down, you can still leave x in front because it won't matter because addition is commutative. You can switch those around. Okay, so here we go. We're centered at 0, 0. So again, I won't have anything in my x parentheses or y parentheses. This is going to be x squared plus y squared. Okay, what are we dividing x by? What's my horizontal distance? 4 squared is 16. And my vertical distance here, okay, is 5. 5 squared is 25. Super easy. Okay, what about those foci? C squared equals big one minus little, 25 minus 16. It's going to be 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so this one's going up and down, and you can already see they already have it marked for us. So our foci are going to be 3 away from our center, but on our major axis, so we're going up and down this time. So it's going to be at 0, 3 or 0, negative 3. Alright, this one's going to give us a little curveball, something a little different here, because we're not going to be centered at the origin anymore. Let's see what happens. What do we have? Okay, you can draw in your new axes. Okay, it looks like we're going to get 0, 2. 0, 2. Okay, so I still have x squared over something plus y minus 2 squared equals 1. Okay, what goes under x? My horizontal distance, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going from 0, 2 to 4, 2. That's a distance of 4, and 4 squared should be 16. Vertical distance from 0, 2 to 0, 5 is a distance of 3. 3 squared is going to be 9. Okay, so there's our equation. It's still pretty easy to answer the question they gave us. Write an equation. Alright, what about our foci? Okay, big minus little, 16 minus 9. So C is going to be the square root of 7. Okay, now here's where we're going to learn a new little trick. Okay, so we're going to pretend that this is 0, 0. For now, just for now, we're going to pretend this is 0, 0. Okay, this is a horizontal one, so we're going to go square root of 7 to the left and square root of 7 to the right. So we should be at, if this was 0, 0, we'd be at negative square root of 7, 0, positive square root of 7, 0 for our foci. Okay, but we're not at 0, 0, are we? Where is our center at? Our center is at 0, 2. So you can kind of put that right underneath and add those up. And that'll tell you where your foci should be. Pretty neat. Ta-da! Alright. And that should put us right there-ish and right there-ish. Pretty close. Pretty close. Okay? Not too tough. Alright? So that's one type of problem you'll have on your first part of your homework. Flip the packet on over to the next page. We got 2 more to do. Okay, you'll have another type of problem today where they're going to give you the vertices and the co-vertices. Remember, the vertices are the major axis. They're going to be the long way, whichever way that ends up being, and your co-vertices will be the short way. Alright? You probably don't even need to know which one's your vertices, which one's your co-vertices, because it's going to be on there for you, right? It should be pretty obvious once we once we plot these points and kind of draw or sketch in the ellipse. So let's take a look here. Negative 2, 6. Negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, negative 6. Well, we'll call this one negative 2, 4. There we go. And negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we'll have negative 5, negative 1, and positive 1, negative 1. Okay, so we can see this is going to be a vertical one. And if that isn't the most perfect ellipse you've ever seen free-handed, I don't know what is. Alright. So we're going to draw in our new or our imaginary kind of XY axes here. I'm just going to sketch those in. Okay, this helps us identify our center. It's going to be at negative 2, negative 1. And then we can get a start on our equation here. So it's opposite. So this is a minus 2. This is going to be a plus 2 here. And again, negative 1. So we're going to have a plus 1 in the parentheses with y. What's our horizontal distance? 1, 2, 3. 3 squared is 9. Our vertical distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squared is 25. So there is our equation. That's all it's asking for. We'll go the extra mile here. We'll get those foci. Okay, so c squared equals 25 minus 9. And c should be 4. Okay, so this is a vertical one. We're going to pretend this is 0, 0. So 4 away from 0, 0 should put us at 0, comma 4 or 0, comma negative 4. Okay, but we're not at 0, 0. Remember, our center was at negative 2, negative 1. So we're going to put that underneath. Alright, we can add these up. Negative 2, negative 5, and negative 2, positive 3. And those should be our foci, our focus points. Let's see if that makes sense for us. Negative 2, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're 1 away from the end, so this one should be 1 away. 0, 1, 2, 3. And that one's also 1 away, so that matches up pretty good. Last one. Okay, we're going to have some bigger numbers here. We're going to have to go by 2s. We're going to be going by 2s. Okay, so negative 2, 5, negative 2, and then 5. So we're going to go 2, 4, 5, 14, comma 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, comma 5. 6, comma 1, 2, 4, 6, 1, and 6, comma 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, as good as I did last time. I kind of missed it on this one, didn't I? Okay, let's figure out where our center is. Another kind of hint or tip when you're doing these types of problems, your center should involve the coordinates or the numbers that get used multiple times. Okay, so like negative 2, negative 2. And we were at negative 2 on the x. Negative 1, negative 1 repeats on the y. We used negative 1 for our y. So that's a bit of a hint. So without even drawing these in, we can tell that 5, 5. So 5 should be my y coordinate and 6 should be the x. And we'll even put it in ink. We're so confident. 6, 5. Alright, let's see. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 5. Boom. 6, 5. Okay, so let's get it started here. We got x minus 6 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 1. Our horizontal distance, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 squared is 64. Vertical distance, 1, 3, 5. Nope, not 5, just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squared is 16. Okay? So there's the equation that answered the question. Alright, and you can see that for tomorrow you're going to have to answer a whole lot of stuff. You're going to be given the equation. You got to come up with the center, the foci, the length of each axis. Okay? So that's why we're going to work on doing the foci ones today, even though it doesn't say to. So we're going to go 64 minus 16. Should be 48. Square root of 48 will break down to 16 times 3, so 4 radical 3. Okay, it's a horizontal one. So if that was 0, 0, this should be negative 4 radical 3, comma 0, and positive 4 radical 3, comma 0. We're not at 0, 0, though. We're at 6, 5. So we'll have 6 minus 4 radical 3, comma 5, and 6 plus 4 radical 3, comma 5. Alright, and just because we need help probably to graph that, this should be about negative 0.9, or at least that's what the kids said in class today, and this one's about 12.9. Let's see if that works out. Negative 0.9, remember these are by 2, so negative 0.9 is pretty close to negative 1. I should put it right there in the middle. And 12.9, again, these are by 2, so that should be in between 12 and 14, right there. Okay? Alright, that's what you're doing for homework today on day 1. We got page 620. We're going 11 through 22 all. Very similar to those types of problems, guys. Good luck on that. Let me know if you need any help.